Welcome to the Better Together podcast, where we come together to look at ways we can help each other more effectively work in the ministry. Today I have with us one of our friends, attorney David Gibbs III. He's the president and general counsel of the National Center for Life and Liberty, a legal ministry that protects the rights of churches and Christian organizations nationwide, with offices in California, Florida, North Carolina, and Texas. He's a graduate of Duke University School of Law. Mr. Gibbs speaks regularly at many of our churches, and he has been a great friend to Free Will Baptist. So thank you so much for being with us today, Attorney Gibbs.
Oh, Dr. Moody, first of all, it's my honor and privilege and excited to be part of your podcast and to talk to all of these Free Will Baptist churches and leaders across the nation. We want these churches not just to survive, we want them to thrive and do incredible things for God.
Excellent. And we so appreciate the good work that you do. And I've just got to ask, how did you end up in this work? How did you end up as an attorney? How did that come about?
I tease I'm probably a frustrated social worker. I like helping real people that are hurting and having problems. And I went into wanting to be an attorney to follow in the footsteps of my dad. He was an attorney that had worked with many churches and Christian schools and religious leaders across the nation. But I grew up watching things that just kind of in my mind, I was in hallways with children that were there. And this is back when kids weren't allowed in the courtroom, and they'd have little packed bags, like sometimes grocery bags, the old brown bags or little suitcases. And it perplexed me. I was kind of like, why are you here with your things? And they'd like, well, I think we might not go home with our parents. And you realize that whether it's in Christian education or some form of training of the children, that, there was some real jeopardy, that some people were paying some prices for the freedom that we have in America. And so I went to law school. I had the privilege of being a Christian school grad and a Bible college grad. Went to law school with the vision and the goal of being an attorney. I often use the phrase legal missionary. I wanted to serve the churches and the Christians. And it was kind of neat. The Lord opened the door. I know we have a lot of good friends in North Carolina, so this is a hug or duck comment. But I was honored to be able to go to Duke. And Duke actually interviewed me and gave me a full scholarship. And so it was just very confirming when you feel like, okay, this is what the Lord's called me to do. And then when you are able to go through that process, receive the training, and then graduated in 93. So I won't even try to calculate, but it's been now a little over a quarter century, and have been battling in the cases and serving the churches, and very passionate. I love what I get to do. And I do want folks to understand, sometimes they think about attorneys or cases or issues. I'm a big believer that the hope of America is not in Washington. It's not in the courthouse, and it's not even in the state house. It's in the church house. And so I am pouring my life at this stage of ministry into helping our churches be all that God would have them to be, stressing heavily maximum ministry. Every church should say, what could we do more for God this year?
Good.
You may not have as many people, you may not have as much money, but you can still do more for God, and thinking about your ministry and your outreach, but then doing that wisely, because we do know that the legal system, liability is a concern for many churches, and so we talk about maximum ministry with minimal liability. But I'm thrilled with what the Lord's called me to do, and certainly have been honored over the years to be at the National Convention and to serve with many Free Will Baptist churches, speaking at many of the state association meetings, and hold all of the dear Free Will Baptist friends across the nation in high esteem.
Well, thank you. And we hold you in high esteem as well. And we just so appreciate what you've already done for us and the good work that you're doing. And thank you for stopping by to be with us.
Oh, always a delight. Honored to be here. Appreciate you and your leadership, and excited as we watch churches all across the nation make a difference in their local communities.